Hello, this is Jamie from Alesis Drums here today at Andertons TV, and we have here the brand new Alesis Strata Prime. Okay, so let's talk about this brand new kit, the Alesis Strata Prime. It's a nice big kit, what you see before you. We've got a 20-inch bass drum, really solid, stays where it is. 14-inch snare drum, 8, 10, 12, 14-inch tom-toms. We've got an 18-inch triple zone ride cymbal, 2 16-inch triple zone crash cymbals, a moving 14-inch triple zone hi-hat cymbal. All the cymbals are, as I've said, 3-zone. They're all 360 playable, so you can play them anywhere. You can choke them with your hand anywhere around the edge, including the hi-hat. We've got a brand new active magnetic hi-hat system as well, never been done before, which precisely tracks the movement of your hi-hat opening and closing there. We've got all new triggers here as well. So we're using our patented multi-sensor technology here, brand new trigger system. They play fantastically. The cymbals are so responsive. You can just tap them. I'll demonstrate that for you. And that's all of the cymbals. They're all super responsive, including the hi-hat. Triple zone, you can play them anywhere. These drums, these cymbals, they are so accurate. It's incredible. The module, let's talk about the module. Brand spanking new technology here. We have got the Strata Prime, as you can see here, 10.1-inch touch screen, fantastic big touch screen, so you can really dive in and manage all your settings. We are running a full one-to-one port of the BFD3 sound engine here. So this has never been done. You've got the full power of a desktop VST in the module. So that's not been compressed, it hasn't been reduced. We have got full articulations, full sound quality, the best drums, best microphones and the best studios, with sometimes the best drummers playing them, just getting the best sound quality you can imagine. It's absolutely fantastic. In your module, you don't need your computer anymore. It's a complete game changer. Let's talk quickly about what you get in the module as well. So you've got 75 preset drum kits, you've got 440 instruments, so that's 440 drums, cymbals, some percussion instruments, some electronic sounds as well, great fun. We have got 1,092 articulations. Now what that means is that some of the drums have got the snares off, some of them are played with sticks, some are played with brushes, that kind of thing. So 1,092 articulations. And remember, these drums have been recorded dozens, if not hundreds of times each instrument, with the best microphones at different volume levels to give you unparalleled sound quality. It's absolutely fantastic. So I've shown you how the cymbals respond. They are all triple zone, all incredibly responsive. Let's talk about the drums, because they are as impressive. You've got effectively 3 zones. So these are dual zone drums. You've got the head and the rim, but as you'll know as a drummer, you can get more sounds than that out of a drum. You can tap the rim, you can hit the rim and the drum at the same time to get a rim shot, and you can also play the middle of the drum to get that sound. So let's see how that comes across. Okay, so that's giving you an impression of how you get 3 sounds from the snare drum. Just like a real drum, you can play the rim, you can play the rim shot, and you can play the middle. And you've got complete control over this. You can dial how the drum responds. You can dial out one of those zones if you only want to use 2 zones. You can dial it just to use 1 if you want to, and you can set the relative responses, how the drum plays, completely to your preferences. Everything is completely adjustable there. All the drums are set up to respond this way. You can set different sounds to each zone. I'll show you how it works. There you go, 3 different sounds just from one drum. You don't have to have that set up, and many of the presets are set up with what you'd expect from a real drum kit, which is just the regular drum sound, kind of rim-shotty rim sound, and then the side stick. But you can dial this in how you want it. Right, let's look at the hi-hat, shall we? It's always difficult to get hi-hats working with an electronic kit, but we've absolutely cracked it here. It's incredible. It plays like no other electronic hi-hat. You'll just forget it's an electronic kit. It's that good. So we've got this brand new active magnetic system, which very accurately tracks the open and close of the hi-hat. You can see there's a light coming on. The power is supplied by the module. It's all done automatically. You don't need to worry about it. And there's what we call a wizard. There's a setup wizard inside here. You go through the process and it works out the top and bottom of your hi-hat stand. You can use any hi-hat stand. I recommend using one with a spring adjustment because you just get a little bit more dialability with that, and then it works out the top and bottom, and of course you can adjust it as well, so you can go into the module and set exactly how the hi-hat responds, exactly what part it's fully closed, partly open, and open as well. And of course we've got these amazing Arc 360 cymbals including the hi-hat, so you can tap the bell, you can choke it anywhere around, 3-zone, and these sounds are recorded with real hi-hat cymbals. Let's see how it sounds. Okay, so that big 10.1-inch touchscreen's the size of an iPad, just the screen. Let's see where that takes you. What you've got here, this is your main screen. So you've got all the drum kits listed. There are 75 preset kits. You can just scroll with your fingers, you can just tap on a kit, or you can use the scroll wheel. If we go here to kit edit, this is where you can see what the pieces of that kit are, and you can swap and change around. You can make your own kits. You can also import sounds in here if you need to as well. And you can make tweaks to how the sounds come out. So you can change your damping, your attack, which kind of either makes the sound a little bit more brittle or it opens the sound out a little bit. You've got your tuning, of course. You've got your dynamics. Now, dynamics is really useful because if you're playing this here as we are doing now in a studio or a home, you want nice wide dynamics so you can go from a whisper to a roar. But if you're at a gig or if you're doing a particular recording of a certain energy level, you might want all of your notes to punch through at a certain point. So you can use the dynamics setting to squeeze your quieter notes up, and it really sits. It's fantastically useful when you're using this kit with other musicians and when you're using it live. You've got your mics. Now, we talked about the BFD. What that really means is that there's no synthesis here, there's no modeling. What you're hearing is recorded mic stems of actual drums in an actual room. So each drum has got a close mic, and in the case of the snare drum, you've got a top and bottom mic, you've got the individual stems here. These are the original recordings. You've also got inside and outside of the bass drum, you've got a pair of overheads, and you've got some room mics as well, and you can tweak all of those. So whenever you see the mic setting here, that's where you get an opportunity to tweak them. So you can tweak them individually here on the kit pieces, and if we go to the mixer in a moment, I'll show you you've got a little bit more control over those mic stems individually. You've got 4 different libraries of sounds on this module, and there'll be more libraries made available, but basically at the moment you've got Alesis Prime Acoustic. So there's a selection of dedicated drums and cymbals recorded specially for this kit. We've got Alesis Prime Electronic. That's classic vintage electronic sounds that have come from the Alesis Strike multipad, and they're great fun to layer with your acoustic sounds, or you can just use them on their own. We've got BFD Dark Farm, so that's one of the BFD sound packs. That's a load of super nerdy guys go to a studio with the best drums they can find and the most expensive microphones, and they spend all day hitting them at all different volume levels for hours and hours and hours. And what you end up with is these incredible drum recordings, and that's what you've got with the Dark Farm. And the BFD Percussion Collection, that's the same guys, but they're recording percussion instruments. So there's all the sorts of world instrument percussion sounds that you might expect. Again, all fully beautifully recorded. There'll be more sound packs, more libraries made available as time goes forwards that you can bring into this module. In terms of space, let's take a moment to talk about that. This has a 128 gigabyte built-in hard drive. That's lots and lots of room for audio. And the 440 instruments take up about 40 gigabytes of that. So that gives you an indication of how much space you've got to add extra sounds in. You can bring your own sounds in, or we can bring more BFD libraries as they become available. So let's go back to that screen, the kit edit screen. That's where you can see your pieces. If we come to the next screen, this is where you've got your mixer. So you've got relative mic stems here. Remember we spoke about different mic stems for the drums. You've got inside and outside of the bass drum, kick in, kick out. We have got top and bottom of the snare. Very useful that, because you get a completely different sound and you can blend them as you want. You can get the real kind of hissy, buzzy snare sound at the bottom, or the attacking sound of the top of the microphone. We have got individual mics here as well for all the other drums, and of course the cymbals, ambience and FX. So this is the kind of secret sauce really, in my view, because when you go to a studio and you record your drums and you put mics on every drum, you think this is going to be great. It can sound very, very claustrophobic and really tight. It's a good sound, but it's only part of the mix. And what you've got here with these sounds is you've got room mics and overheads as well. So a pair of overheads and then room mics to capture the sound of the drums in the room. And that, to my opinion, is where you get the real character of the sound. And you can bring those in and out as you want to. Ins and outs is where we can send sounds to the main outputs. You've got a pair of balanced XLR outputs, that's your main outputs. And we've got 4 assignable TRS balanced outputs as well, where you can send individual sounds if you want to those outputs too. So that is the mixer page. Now what we've got here, this is another kind of secret weapon, if you like, of this module. We have got proper VST plugin effects here. So these are from the Air range. Air is a brand of software effects, and you can add so many of these to this module. You've got loads of flexibility. You can add 3 of these effects to each mic stem, and then you can also add 3 to the overall drum mix if you want to. That's a dizzying amount of effects. Let's take a moment to see what sort of effects we've got. So this is the Air range here, all the ones you'd expect. Let's just click on Lo-Fi for a moment and have a look. Set a preset. Presets are sort of starting points, if you like. So once you've selected a preset, go back here, and then you can see the parameters for that preset of the effect appear down here. Got loads and loads of things you can change with that. And that's just one of the effects. Let's have a look at another one. One of my favorites on here, actually, is the EQ8. We all know how important EQ is. So what we've got here, let's just take any preset and have a little look and go back to there. This is an 8-band parametric EQ of extraordinary quality. You've got so much to adjust in here. It's absolutely incredible. You can see all these dots here. That tells me that each one of those is a page of parameters. So you can so finely tune the effects, and you can apply this to each and every element of the drum kit as you want to, or to the whole mix. I've never seen anything like this on any electronic drum kit. That 8-band parametric EQ is so powerful. So that's a very quick look at how you can apply effects to the drum kit. That's all in the mixer page. We have got backing tracks, so you can bring in your own tracks, and you can also record yourself on the module as well. I've got the transport buttons up here, very straightforward. Okay, let's look at the trigger edit page. So triggers, it's one of those things, you know, the triggers are fantastically set up on here. The presets are all, as you'd imagine, perfectly set up for these drums. So you may not need to worry about that, but you've got loads and loads of access to change the triggers if you want to, different environments, different types of responses. So all of the settings that you'd expect to find, you can find in here. You can go as deep as you like. You can leave it as it is, it works brilliantly, or you can go right in and change things around to your heart's content. So we've got the presets for each drum. and then you can save versions. You can save as many different versions of triggers if you want as you like. You might have a snare drum that you like to use for a gig. You might have a snare drum trigger setting you want to use for a different sort of band, different volume levels. You can make as many of those as you like and just save them on the module. On the subject of saving, you can save as many of the kits, preset kits as you like on the module. On your main screen here, they've got this button that looks like a playlist button. That's where you get your individual set lists, and you can just make as many of those as you want for different bands, different sets, whatever. And you know, you've got so much space on you can save as many kits as you like. It's practically unlimited. Thanks for watching this. I mean, there's a lot to see. This drum kit has got so much brand new technology. I can't wait for you to try it out yourself. The real takeaway here is that this kit plays, responds, sounds like no other. This video is there to help you get to know it, but until you sit down behind this with a good pair of headphones and you go through the kits on here and you see how the drums and cymbals respond, that's when you'll really understand the true power of this new kit. Okay, thanks for watching. Any more information you need, the links are down below. Now we're going to see how Luke from Andertons likes this kit. Yeah, man. You can even, another trick I can show you, look, you can even just do it with...
Steve Gadd's.
Yeah, you can, if you want to do that, you can do.
Yeah, have a little browse here.
Yeah, so try that one.
Yeah, where's that? Tight snare. Super fun to play, man.
Yeah. And check out how responsive the cymbals are. Just tapping the bell. I mean, and just, you know.
I'm really impressed with the hi-hat, actually.
Yeah, the hi-hat's fantastic. Right, let's have a look at this kit and see what effects we've got on it. If we go to Mixer, I'm doing this upside down, so bear with me. And then you can see, if you go to ins and outs here, we've got these effects applied to the whole kit.
Makes me sound like I've got so much groove.
Oh, it does, yeah.
Delay drive. Let's move it.
Oh, there you go.